everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tracy, and if you don't know me, I have a passion for upcycling clothing and I teach sewing on here. I'm so excited to finally share this tutorial with you guys on this drop waist corset dress. I feel like such a princess in this dress, and I think it's one of my favorite designs. As always, I made a digital sewing pattern. It's available on my Etsy shop, but if you purchase it through my personal website, you get an extra 15% off because it's a new pattern. This time I did include written instructions as well, just because sewing this dress is very technical. I would classify the sewing pattern as intermediate advanced, just because of all of the sewing techniques within this dress. As for the required materials, I have listed them down below. I ended up using about 4 yards of this beautiful light blue linen. You can use any woven fabric for this design. It would look stunning in like a crepe, in a cotton, honestly any woven fabric. And also make this gown floor length. Just take the skirt pattern and from the hemline, just add as many inches as you want. So this is like mid-calf length, which I think is like the perfect cocktail style dress. And I upcycled a men's button down, which is about a half yard of cotton for the bodice lining. You need about 5 yards of half-inch wide bone casing, and you need a 1/4 inch spiral steel boning. I like to buy the 10-yard pack because I find it easier to just measure, cut my bones, and tip them myself. And you're going to need the boning tips, as well as some pliers to apply those. You need 6 yards of 1/4 inch bias binding just to finish the seams on your skirt. For the loops on this dress, as well as the lacing, you need some ribbon, or you can make your own out of the same fabric so everything matches, which was what I did. And you also need a yard of rigoline boning. That's just going to stabilize the loops in the back. If you don't want those loops in the back, you can always do grommet lacing. Just make sure for the grommets, for the center back, you have a bone, space for the grommets, and then another bone to stabilize them. If you do the loops and you want to be a little bit more cinched, I recommend you size down, but if you do the grommets, you should be fine. You need a yard of grosgrain ribbon and a hook and eye, as well as a 10 to 12 inch invisible zipper. And you need to buy a petticoat, which was the perfect length for this dress. It really gives the skirt that extra volume. And since this is a strapless corset, and if you want that extra push, I recommend inserting some pads. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. For the digital sewing pattern, you're going to be printing this on either letter size A4 or A0. Mine's letter size, so you're just going to be taping and matching up those stars. So those are just the intersections for the pattern. So you're just going to line everything up against that. So feel free to cut along those lines, tape them together, but I feel like it takes so long. So I just overlap and tape. So each row is a different letter. So you have A, B, C, etc. And then you have pages 1, 2, 3. So you're just going to be taping those pages in that order. So just matching up those stars. And now you can just cut out your pattern pieces. Don't forget that on the digital pattern, you can just select your size and only print that size out so you don't have like lines everywhere. Before cutting out all of your fabric pieces, you need to pre-treat your fabric by washing it, because linen and cotton specifically like to shrink after a wash. I lay out all of my pattern pieces and I cut out my main fabric. So just don't forget to line up your straight grain on your pattern pieces to the selvage of your fabric. After you make sure that it is parallel, you can just take your pins and just pin all of your pattern pieces into place. After cutting out all of your main fabric pieces, now you can cut out the lining. So I'm using a men's button down for my lining fabric, and I am just taking all of my bodice pieces. This is the only part that gets lined, and just cutting those all out and marking the notches. Now that I have all of those pieces cut out, as well as my main fabric bodice pieces, I'm just going to grab the lining first and opening up the pattern piece 1 and taking pattern piece 2 of the bodice, and you're going to line it up along those princess seams. So just make sure you match up those notches, pin everything into place, right sides together. Now you can take it to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now you can take pattern piece 3, match up those notches, and sew those side seams. Take your pattern piece 4 and line up the back princess seams and pin and sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now that you have your lining completely sewn, we're going to just repeat these exact steps to our main fabric. So take your pattern piece 1, attach it to the 2 and just sew those princess seams. Take pattern piece 3 and sew those side seams. Match up your notches and everything gets sewn with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now you can just take your seams and give them all a good press. so press them open. I like to use an organza pressing cloth when I'm doing this just to not damage my fabric. To the lining, so press all those seams open, and now you have a really nice pressed lining and outer shell. Take your lining and mark about 3 inches away from the back princess seam. That is where you're going to place your first channel, but make sure you leave a 1/2 inch seam allowance at the top and the bottom. You're going to attach channels to all of your seams as well, and I like to just stitch very close to the edge on either side of the channel to have enough space to insert my bone. These are a 1/2 inch wide channels. I also attach one to the center front, so I just place it there and stitch. Grab your off the shoulder drapes, and you need to hem the top and the bottom. I did a baby hem on them, and after doing that, I mark my notches. You have 6 notches on each side, so the front and the back, and you're going to just take notch number 2, fold it up to number 1, pin it into place, take notch 4, fold it up to notch 3, and then you finally take notch 6 and fold it up to 5, so you end up with these 3 pleats. And you're going to repeat this for the back as well. And I did it on paper so I could show you guys, and it's more clear versus when I'm doing it on the fabric, just because you can see all the numbers. So you're just folding these pleats up, pinning them into place. So I did that to the front, and like I said, you need to do it to the back. So you're going to the other side of the drape and just repeating these exact steps. And you end up having 2 draped shoulder pieces because obviously you have 2 arms. So you're just going to do this twice, and this is what your drape looks like. Now you can take it to the sewing machine and just do a 1/4 inch top stitch to secure them into place. Take your iron and just give the pleats a good press. Take your outer shell, so the main fabric, and just mark the center front on there, and take your shoulder drape pieces that we just made and pin them at the center front and at the center back. So at the center front, you're just going to overlap at that 1/2 inch intersection, and at the center back about 3/4 of an inch in, and just stitch them into place. I decided to make my own fabric loops for the lace up back because I wanted to have my own loops to match my fabric. So I ended up making really small, like spaghetti style pieces, and then I marked 2 1/4 inches and then 1 inch away and repeated that, and then I just attached every loop onto a piece of rigging. So I've linked a more in-depth tutorial for you guys down below if you want to make your own loops. But for this design, I do recommend actually putting grommets into the center back. I wish I did that because my dress would have been a lot tighter and I would have been able to stitch myself a bit more. Take your loops and place them along the center back 3/4 of an inch in for that seam allowance. Pin them into place, and you can just take it to the sewing machine and stitch right onto that rigging. So this is going to give the loop structure so the back doesn't collapse. Take your lining, place right sides together, sew along the top neckline. I sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. After you sew the neckline, just grab some scissors and we're going to trim along the lining seam allowance only, just so we can reduce the bulk when we turn this over. And I like to clip the curves. It makes it easier to like press and get those crisp curves. Now turn it right side out and do an understitch along the lining, pushing that seam allowance towards the lining. Now that the lining's rolling underneath, we can just give everything a good press. So I like to press from the lining side just to make sure it's perfectly rolled underneath. So I just give it a good press, and the neckline looks like this. Now we can assemble the skirt. So take your front skirt piece and your 2 back skirt pieces and place right sides together along the side seams. Pin. After you pin those side seams, you can take it to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now you can just give it a good press, so press that seam allowance open. Now I'm taking a 1/4 inch bias binding, and I'm going to clean finish my seam allowance with a Hong Kong finish. So this is a Hong Kong finish. You're going to take your bias binding and place your seam allowance inside of it and just stitch it. Do the same to the other side and repeat to the other seam. Mark your notches along the waist that we need to gather. So you're going to stitch 2 shirring stitches, which is a stitch size 5, so 2 rows of stitching. Don't back tack because you're going to pull on the bobbin thread and start pulling and gathering from notch to notch. So you end up with this beautiful gathering at the sides of the skirt. You need to hang your skirt either on a dress form or a hanger because the skirt needs to hang for 24 hours. Since it's cut on the bias, the fabric is going to grow. After the 24 hours, we can attach the skirt to the bodice. So just open up your bodice and grab your skirt and just place right sides together of the main bodice to the skirt. And you're going to pin those layers together. And now you can take it to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. After sewing the main bodice to the skirt, I just press the seam allowance up and I press the front so it's really crisp. I grab my zipper and press it open so the teeth are facing up. I pin it into place. So on the back of the bodice, I've marked the notch of where the zipper starts and where the loops end. So just follow that placement. I like to hand base my zipper because it makes it so much easier when I'm feeding it through my invisible zipper foot. And then I remove those basting stitches. And this is honestly the most satisfying part about the invisible zipper is when everything lines up perfectly. So just make sure you have that waist seam lined up perfectly. And now you can take the rest of that center back seam and place right sides together and just pin. Now you're going to stitch from the end of the zipper all the way down with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and don't forget to back tack. I end up clean finishing that seam allowance and the zipper tape with the Hong Kong finish, so taking that 1/4 inch bias tape and just binding that seam allowance. Now that our skirt is sewn, we can finish the rest of the bodice and clean finish the inside. But before we do that, we need to just open up the zipper and just take the lining out because we need to measure our channels so we know how long to cut our bones. So I like to just look at the inside of my lining, and with a ruler I measure from the top of the white channel to the bottom, and I remove a 1/4 inch to just give it some room for those boning tips. So you just need to cut out your spiral steel bones and you need to add tips. I like to take 2 sets of pliers and just apply pressure at the same time, and this secures the tips. Now that we've cut out all of our boning pieces, we can set them aside and clean finish the center back loops. So we're going to take the lining and just flip it out, and we're going to place right sides together again. So this time we're pinning along that center back seam, so we're encasing those loops as well as that zipper. So you want to open that zipper facing you and then just pin. But when you get to the hem of the lining, fold it up a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and now you can just take it to the sewing machine and sew both sides down. And same thing as earlier, you're taking your scissors and trimming along the lining seam allowance only to reduce bulk. And now you can just turn it right side out and just shimmy everything, especially the corner. I like to clip it sometimes because it makes it easier to get that like sharper point. Now that the center back is clean finished, I like to just take my iron and just give it a good press. Now we can grab all of our boning and just slide it into our bone channels. So just place each bone into its corresponding channel. Now that the bones are placed inside, you can grab the skirt and turn it inside out. With the bodice lining facing you, turn the hem underneath about 3/8 of an inch, just so it's sticking out slightly over that waist seam, and pin it into place. Then I like to hand baste it because it makes it so much easier to sew versus having pins in the way. Now take it to the sewing machine with the right side facing you, and you're going to stitch in the ditch along that waist seam. So this is going to be an invisible stitch and it's going to catch that lining. Now you can remove that basting stitch. The lining is super nicely finished on the inside and you don't even see that stitch on the outside. Now we're going to make a waist stay at the inside of the dress. So just mark those waist notches from your pattern onto your lining and you're going to pin that waist stay. So I use grosgrain ribbon, so this is pretty much the same measurement as your waist. Just hem each end with a 1/2 inch, attach a hook and eye, and just place it along the waistline on the lining, and only hand tack at each bone channel, only grabbing the lining fabric. I ended up attaching cups to my bodice because, like I said, it was a little bit large. I made my own bias ribbon, so with the self fabric, I just created my own ribbon, attaching multiple pieces together. And then I put it on a dress form. So as you can see, our skirt did grow quite unevenly. So it's important you take a ruler and just like attach a piece of tape and find your finished length. And you're just kind of turning your dress form and just marking that finished hemline. And if you don't have a dress form, just put it on yourself and have someone help you measure from the floor up. Cut the new hemline and just hem everything with a baby hem finish. And here's how the final dress turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you do recreate this dress, please don't forget to tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your final dresses, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really is the best way to support your favorite creators for free. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.